Hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. Once again, this is our debut broadcast on YouTube as well. I'm Ink, and today we'll be presenting Group A, the Losers Bracket Round 2 game, an elimination game for both of these two players, Coeval and seto kaiba. This is a highly anticipated game, of course, and in the commentary booth, we have Harpo, Union, and guest commentator for today's series, 1v. How are y'all doing?
It's 1v here.
Hey,
on, guys.
So I will not bore you guys with too much of an intro. I'll let these three take away the commentary aspect and entertain you all. For those who are unaware, you can follow us at twitch.tv/Arcanists tournaments for the Twitch stream and youtube.com/@Arcanists tournaments is the YouTube channel. And take it away, guys. All yours.
All right, let's do it, guys. See some exciting games.
Yeah, this is
Hopefully
Holly.
no full stalls, but I'm excited.
I apologize beforehand if I sound sick, but yeah, still doing this commentary for y'all.
We won't hold it against you. Don't worry. Yeah, this is a highly anticipated rematch. Earlier in Group A, where Seto and Coeval were part of, they fought each other in the first round. Coeval won. He advanced. Coeval proceeded to lose the goal, and Seto proceeded to also beat Ron in the losers bracket, and so now they are in the final round of their group stage. Coeval versus Seto. Whoever wins will continue on the tournament. Whoever loses will be knocked out.
What was that score between them? Their first play around.
I don't know. I will have to check really quick. I think it was 2-1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me check.
To clarify, Coeval did win 2-0 in the first game, I believe.
Okay.
So
Stepping into this undefeated to him.
yeah, in theory, he's a bit of the favorite.
Could we go ahead and make our predictions now?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, feel free to
All
make
right.
some predictions.
Let's see.
Let's do it.
I'll be honest. I don't know who Seto is. Obviously, I know the character from Yu-Gi-Oh. But for that reason alone, I will have to go with Coeval. So that's my pick.
Yeah, it's important as a commentator not to be biased, which I am not. But Coeval is my boy. He has my full support, 100%.
No bias. Let's go.
I'm gonna go for Seto. I can't just let him hang like that with no supporters. So yeah, my money's on Seto to win this. What kind of books do you guys think Coeval's gonna bring?
I wasn't able to watch their first series, but from what I heard, he brought a Sanctuary Arcane Dragon Egg book. And so Arcane Dragon Egg heals 10 HP per turn, and someone might try to counter that with Aura of Decay, but you can simply Sanctuary right next to it, remove the Aura, and then you can have the Dragon Egg heal to 150 HP and pop out a fully sized actual dragon, like a Flame Dragon. And then you proceed to use Wormhole to transport the dragon over to your opponent.
Huh. Okay.
Do you think that's more of a passive play, or do you feel like he might bring a spell that will help or boost the heal on the minion?
Well, I guess we will figure out right now. It appears when you check the level 3 spell, Seto Kaiba has Black Hole. And so Black Hole is basically what it is, just a giant black hole in the middle of the map. If you go into it, you get knocked off the map. And so it's kind of a really good zoning spell.
And that doesn't go away until it's recasted, is that right?
Correct.
That's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Funny you mentioned the Arcane Dragon Egg. It looks like Seto brought his own. Interesting that he has it. I don't know if it's the same book or not, but we'll see how it plays out.
I think it's a slightly different book, but kind of the same type of passive play style. Hey, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna get my egg up really high HP, and then probably wormhole it.
I mean, it looks like off the bat, looks like Coeval's kind of playing a little aggro. Actually, maybe they're both playing a little aggro with that new portal he just put out. But what's the typical like strategy that you should try to go for? Is it let me try to attack full on as fast as I can, or kind of stall it, let the Arma hit in, take it to a midfield match, and then kind of see if you can take ownership from there?
It definitely honestly depends on your opponent's book. It's like, okay, if they have a very set up play style, you might want to push aggro. Or if they have kind of like a really aggro play style, you might want to weather the storm a bit and do some setup yourself. What Coeval just did was kind of like an old-fashioned portal trick. Wormhole and portal are a little bit different, but if someone portals over to you and you go right under their portal and do a portal yourself, then you create two different ends to the portal and help negate their own.
I know that I don't know if we have people looking from the OG Arc days, or if we have people from our Arc 2 days. I know for the OG guys, when you say portal, it was a portal where basically either a player, a minion, or a spell can go in and out either side for that turn before it would kind of go away. But with this new portal, obviously this is the new spell, not from the original game mode. So explain kind of how this works. So is it more of a one-sided portal, or can you go through back and forth like the other one?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It is a one-way portal. It's from your direction, from the darker shade hole, and it goes out to the lighter shade hole, and one way. And another addition is that it can also transport larger minions. It can transport cosmic horrors, dark knights, dragons. So it's definitely a bit more intimidating with that respect. But it applies a gravity effect when you come out on the other side of the wormhole, and so you're not able to jump as high or use your flight.
How long does that effect last?
Lasts for a turn.
Okay, that's not too bad. We see Coeval has a swarm in his book. I would assume that's probably used more for trapping, getting a quick damage off, maybe even blocking a portal entrance.
Yeah, definitely. Swarm has kind of blown up over the past few months, kind of spurred on by Strength Power DX in 7G, and it appears it's a draw.
Interesting.
What just happened? I'm
So we got a
confused.
draw, not sure exactly why.
We'll clarify that one really quick. Oh, so they had the wrong Armageddon on. They're supposed to have the Rising Lava and the Fog spell from the top.
Ah, good catch. Gotcha.
So you think they're gonna keep their books, or after kind of filling each other out, they're gonna
I
want
was
to change
just
it?
about to ask. I feel like with a couple of spells they've shown, I'm interested to know if they're just gonna run it back, or they might change it up a little bit.
Personally, if I'm Seto, I think I'd change the book. So I tried a cosmic horror book, and it's kind of hard to finish off with that, because the dark matter bombs are so bouncy, and they only do 80 damage. You only get 2 of them, and then after that, once you waste all your dark matter bombs, the cosmic horror is drainable, and it can't really attack that well.
Yeah, it's almost dead weight.
Yeah, it just becomes a liability. But with that wormhole, he does have a pretty good options on attacking without exposing himself. So maybe he can make something of that. But personally, I'm not a fan of those kind of books.
So just to clarify for all the people in the stream, that that game is basically null and void as there was a mistake in the settings. So now we are basically at a blank slate, and should be good to go from here on out.
Okay.
It
Sounds good.
appears Seto brought the black hole book again, it seems like. So it might be a similar type of strategy, but at least Coeval, with the first turn, has the initiative. He knows, okay, he has this book. I can be even more aggro right from the start.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try to flash his way through and try to counter that egg real quick as fast as he can. I'd assume
He's
Seto's
taking
probably gonna try to block him off. Yep.
Yep.
He's also taking advantage of the fact that Seto doesn't have flight. Him being up on the top of the map, he can't really attack him.
Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't seem like Seto has Prot Shield, so he doesn't have a Sky Ray. He might have a Shooting Star spell, which is a horizontal aerial, so it can maybe hit him from the side. But otherwise, besides that, I don't know how he's going to hit Coeval right away.
But to bring Shooting Star, you would need to bring Collision Course, and that's kind of a dead slot on this map. With so much cover blocking the aerials, I can't imagine him bringing that, but you don't know what spells he brought to bring that wormhole, that black hole.
It could be... Yup, same portal trick as he did previous game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see people without flight in their books tend to not bring protection shield for the most part. I'm sure some people do. It doesn't look like Seto has it, but I feel like that might bite him in the butt later on if this kind of goes into a bit of a stall match. Obviously Coeval's gonna have more HP theoretically.
So
Yeah,
I'm kind of
so-
confused.
If you're doing a flightless book, you either want to have a Prot Shield yourself to kind of go neck and neck with your opponent's Prot Shield, or you want a Sanctuary to nullify the Prot Shield. Prot Shield is kind of Kane in tens. It kind of sets who gets to be the aggressor if you have more Prot Shield, or if you're more on the defensive if you have less. So you definitely need an answer to Prot Shield.
Right, and of course he has a Sanctuary, but with that you kind of have to be very careful in how you use it, because I believe it's a 5-turn refresh before you can use it again. So if he doesn't get it and remove all those Prot Shields, it's going to be pretty hard to have that face-to-face matchup if Coeval can easily detower him. He's got about 5 turns to play with him.
Definitely.
So we'll see how he utilizes it.
Coeval is just making space to the center, and Seto is continuing his zoning tactics. Black holes, forest seeds, even that wormhole.
He has to be careful here, because if he goes into that wormhole, he doesn't have teleport, and it's a free dark matter bomb right into the...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so kind of interesting that he decided to wormhole to the bottom of the map. Usually when people counter a portal or a wormhole with another wormhole, they put it back to the same side that the opponent casted it at. So I wonder why he put it on the bottom.
Yeah. Well,
It seems like he into it on accident, because he ended up teleporting back to the top. So it kind of worked against him.
yeah, and Coeval's taking a few aura ticks, about 3 aura ticks, so that might have some play later in the game if, the Sanctuary can't do the job.
So what can someone explain to me, what's that little minion right there, the alien looking one with 25 HP? What kind of moveset does it have? How does it really play into effect here?
So that's called the drone. It's able to attack 2 times with 25 damage each bolt. The bolt kind of goes probably roughly half the distance of this map. And the interesting part about it is you're able to attack 2 targets with it at once. So if they have 2 swarms separated within range, you could kill both of them with just 1 drone.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty hard counter to that swarm then.
Yep. Yeah, even in other settings, drone is a pretty good check to swarm, because it's like, okay, I can kill the swarm, and then maybe get some chip damage on my opponent for 25 damage.
I'm seeing Coeval's doing a lot of flashing as his digging spell. Typically, I've seen a lot of people bring in Pebble. It doesn't look like he has that, so I'm interested to see how he's going to detower a Sanctuary.
He might have Pebbles. Knowing Coeval's playstyle, he generally brings Pebble Shot. Maybe it's because just he didn't want the Pebbles to dig down to the Cosmic Core, possibly, and maybe get a weird graph pulse from it. Also, Water Ball's a common digging spell on this map, because it's a better horizontal digging spell compared to Pebble Shot.
Gotcha.
Coeval just decided to wormhole to the bottom of the map again, except this time it's actually inside of the lava. I really wonder why he's not wormholing to where Ceto's at.
Yeah, that's definitely a curious play. He has to be very careful trying to micro his way through this cloud and wormhole. That
Also
wormhole.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that wormhole definitely would have been better to go off to the right side of the map by Seto.
It doesn't give him any offensive capabilities going to the bottom of the map. It seems like it's more harm than helpful. Because now he has to be careful going inside of it. But maybe he's putting it down there in case Seto tries to go through the wormhole. So now he's at the bottom of the map. But
yeah, that's some type of bait play.
By the way, for anybody that's new, like myself, do you guys mind just doing a quick explanation of this Arma and how it works? The damage taken if you're in it as well.
Yeah, so I'm not the most familiar with it, but we have two Armageddons. We have the Rising Lava, and we have the Dense Fog Armageddon. And so each turn, it moves a little bit closer towards the center of the map. And to my understanding, based off what turn number it is, that's the amount of damage it will do to the player when you are stuck inside that fog or lava. So, for example, if that horror goes down to the bottom of the map in the lava, on turn 23, it will proceed to receive 23 damage.
Gotcha. Now, does this end up taking the entire map, or does it stop at a certain point?
it takes
stops.
a good portion of it.
Yeah, it takes a very big chunk of it, and by turn like 55, it still doesn't take all of the map, but it definitely really squeezes you into the middle of the map, and you have to fight for kind of like the King of the Hill style.
Got it. Yeah, I can
But right
see
now,
where,
I would say,
go ahead.
I would say Coeval has a pretty good lead. He has 110 extra HP. I don't really see a way where Seto can kind of counter this. I mean, obviously he could telly in and try to sink him, but
Yeah, I'm trying to see what his main strategy is here. I know that he's been keeping those dragons alive. He already hatched the egg on one of them. He's kind of playing from a distance here, but I'm curious to see like what is his main kill spell or his main goal to try to win the match.
So he's waiting for the dragons to move over, just like he did with this one, and he's going to slide the black hole over to another spot and gradually move to gain more map control. Maybe he might go for the center himself. Maybe he'll get his 145 dragon over there. We'll have to see. He's going to probably just gradually push his advantage, just slowly squeeze Coeval.
Let's see. What kind of attacks does that dragon give you? I know that when you maximize its HP, it'll turn into one of the bigger dragons. But this one is different than those. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
this
yeah, you can go
sort
one.
it's sort of like a cog dragon. It has the same range. It's smaller, so it's a little bit more mobile in terms of where it could fit.
And sometimes you want to keep the baby dragon at its pre-stage because it retains the healing capabilities compared to certain other dragons, which, like a flame dragon, it's going to gradually take chip damage. But having a 145 dragon on the field that continuously heals, it's really hard to take it out of the game. It really is. You're going to have to get like a Dark Knight to kill it somehow, or have it trapped by the Arma. It's very hard to take it down.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing more of that midfield presence with the top and bottom already being engulfed in that fog and lava. I'm curious to see if somebody's gonna risk the teleport and play extremely aggro, or if they're gonna slowly chip away at the map until they can get a good attack.
Oh, he got the wormhole just in time. Perfect. So maybe Seto's plan is to have control over the different areas of the map. You see his 115 dragon, his cosmic core himself, over on the right side of the map. You see the cosmic core at the bottom, controlling the bottom part of the map. You see the 80 dragon right in the middle. So he's trying to control each part of the map, and then using Aura, Force Seed, and Black Hole to zone Coeval off. And now Coeval's kind of doing a whack-a-mole style of trying to move away from the areas that are being zoned off, and then pop in one area, and when all the resources move to that with the minions, he's going to pop away to another area. But that won't work forever because that fog is coming, that lava is coming.
Right, I see that he keeps wormholing to the bottom. My only assumption would be that he's kind of just blocking that off. If something goes in it, it'll end up at the bottom and kind of useless away from the main fight.
Yeah, exactly. See, the problem that Seto's having right now is because Coeval has so much prot, he actually can't really attack him with a dark matter bomb. He has to get off the prot first because he only has 2 dark matter bombs and they only do 80 damage each. He has to deal with the prot first before he can use that. I think he's trying to whittle him away with these dragons right now.
Yep.
Oh, and there he goes. The first damage of the game.
Yeah, that Whisper Bomb isn't going to do much. I think that was kind of a questionable play, but he probably was thinking of, he didn't know what to do at the time. But now that's a mistake because he can proceed to knock that dragon into the wormhole. But he decided not to go for that play and just move away from the dragons.
See, right now he should. There we go. Perfect.
Nope.
Okay.
Trap him.
I'm understanding Seto's game plan now.
Yep, because he has control over the black hole. He dictates when it moves, and so it'll always be to his advantage. Once Coeval teleports, he has to teleport in some type of hole on this map. There's not many open areas, and so whatever hole he teleports in can be easily blocked off with numerous spells: tree, aura, wormhole, and black hole.
I wonder if Seto has any spell that could clear land. Something that I noticed that would be really useful is if he had Totem with his book, so that he could slowly start clearing land to allow his minions to get full control of the map.
Totem is definitely an interesting spell. I tried bringing it against DX earlier in this tournament. Did not work out the best. Especially with a minion-heavy book of Seto. Having multiple minions can be kind of tough to cycle through. You know, Totem, Arcane Dragon, Cosmic Core. And so it might not be the best because of that. It's like it's hard to manage all those different minions with such a short time frame.
The minions actually get mapped to your numbers, actually. So your character starts at 1. The first minion you summon starts at 2, and then so on 3, so on 4. And if you actually took the time to learn that, that would save you a lot of time in micromanaging all your minions.
Yeah, that's definitely something that, you know, takes practice. But it's so easy to kind of like slip up sometimes. Of like, oh, which minion is 1, which minion is 2, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you have multiple of the same minions.
So it's turn 47. This game has gone by fast. And so I think Coeval is trying to go for the draw. And I think he has the capability to draw it out. He has 2 of the HP, a little bit of prot. and Seto hasn't quite figured a way out to get towards him.
Yeah, it does look like Coeval's kind of running out of options on space. Looks like he just continues to be cornered and trapped.
Yeah, but
question
Seto...
for you guys though. So Seto or Coeval just wormholed it again. Now, if Seto were to go through that wormhole, it's slightly touching the other one. Is that enough to put him through to the other side, or would he be able to like jump up
I think
and be
he
able to
would be.
dodge that wormhole?
I'm not sure. On Ceto's side, it'll be a little bit hard because he would have to jump at a perfect angle, and seeing where that wormhole is placed, he can't really get up under it the way he would need to avoid the Coeval's wormhole.
Yeah, it also depends on the two overlapping wormholes. I guess how big that hitbox is on it. If you come from the top wormhole, from the center of it, will the bottom part be touching the feet of the character?
It's definitely
Since he won't try it.
Yeah, it's a little bit too risky to try it considering the late amount of turns it is. It's 52 turns, and that wormhole ends up in the lava. So if he goes through the wormhole, ends up in the lava, he's getting ticked for 50 damage. That's a huge risk.
All right. Yeah, you can see Seto is really trying to push for trying to win it. And Coeval's doing a great job of just stalling it out. We're already on turn 53, so it's just about to end. Curious to see if they change up their spell books or if they kind of run it back.
I think Coeval changed his book. He seems like he doesn't have a way to win this. He's getting pressured all around the map. He constantly has to run away and cycle his spells with Wormhole and Tree and Prot. I think he's gonna change up his spell book to give him more of a winning shot.
And I would probably like to see a digging spell from Seto, maybe like a water ball, maybe a little bit of ability to pressure him. Because water ball is a great pressuring spell, because even if you're trapped in a mud ball, you can still water ball, get a little bit of chip damage, let yourself free. And so it needs to be a water ball over towards the center of the map or to Coeval's location and jump over and Sanctuary to remove those procs.
Alright, and there's the draw right there. So it looks like we're gonna set it up all over again.
Will be able to like succeed is having that knowledge of Portal, because Portal is kind of like the bread and butter of a 10G player, and so knowing all the different intricacies of Portal and those overlapping portals, you know, can really help you in a 10s tournament, even on non-grassy maps.
So, any predictions on what the players might bring next game? Any specific book ideas or anything like that? What do you guys think?
I would let the pros go first, and then I'll let the newbie answer, which is myself last.
1v?
I think Coeval's gonna bring us a book with Water Ball and Pegasus. I think he's gonna change up his strat to be a little bit more aggressive, and he still also has to be careful that Seto goes with the same book with Cosmos. But I do think he's gonna bring some kind of Blood Bank Water Ball book.
Well, let's see what this game is. Okay, checking the level 3 spells, and Seto Kaiba brought the Black Hole once more. When it comes to the Dark Fortress map, it's different than other maps, because most normal maps, you start off the game by being spawned naturally on a part of the map. But in Dark Fortress, you get to choose where you want to arcane gate into the map. And so the area that Coeval's at, in my opinion, is a better spot, because you have access to all this space to the bottom of the map and to the top right of the map.
Oh, here we go. Being something a little different. Looks like he decided to bring a regular portal rather than a wormhole. Curious if
he's
he
taking
might,
advantage.
maybe he might have both, or if he just swapped it out.
If he has both, that would be really interesting. Really interesting too. But I think
And that pine,
both of them pull down.
and that pinecone kills a tree right away. So obviously the portal's blocked off by aura. So we'll see how Coeval navigates around this.
Well, he does have protection shield, so I would assume he's able to counter that aura just by going in it and continuing his path along into the portal. Or will he become dizzy even with 35 protection shield?
He'll get stunned because he casted the protection shield before the aura. If you cast the protection shield after they cast an aura, then you won't be stunned.
Yeah, it's a very weird mechanic, you know. That it's been in the game since Arc 1, but it's definitely something that a lot of newer players don't know about.
It's a really big mechanic that a lot of Tensors take advantage of.
Yeah, because they're waiting on that on cooldown, someone auras them to try to zone it, and so, okay, they aura, you proc, and now you can go through the aura and proceed to launch your attack on someone. All right, more zoning.
Another pinecone here.
And Seto has the clock tower, so maybe he has Sanctuary, but that would really squeeze his book in terms of book building. So we'll see how he is able to deal with Prop Shield.
That's a great catch. I don't think we saw the clock tower last game. So interesting to know if it's he has 2 towers or if he just switched it out to give himself room for an extra spell.
Yep. That's another thing about Clock Tower. It's a really powerful tower, and it's only a level 1 spell.
What do you guys think of that play right there? Seto wormhole to Coeval, and Coeval sacrificed his protection shield so that he could sanctuary it away.
I guess he was really fearing the wormhole, because now he has Portal instead of Wormhole this game. And so Portal can't exactly counter a wormhole the same way your own wormhole can counter a wormhole.
It's pretty interesting that he decided to bring Portal as his aggro spell, his aggro mobility spell, seeing that Seto was countering the wormhole pretty nicely last game. He essentially brought a weaker version of wormhole.
Yeah, you would want, like, Portal definitely is more of a spell if you want to, like, bring something like Shock Shield, because hey, you can Shock Shield grab people onto your Shock Shield, cause them some damage, and so that those 2 spells have good synergy. But it seems that Portal and Sanctuary have weird synergy.
Shock Shield and Portal really work well when your opponent has fight and you're going into like a hot stacking competition. That's when Storm Shield really shines with Portal. Against a flightless player, especially someone that has Sanctuary, I don't think it would be a good idea to bring that.
Yeah, it's definitely a questionable book building maneuver that Coeval has done.
What's Coeval's strategy here? If I was Seto, I think I would use the Cosmic Horror to whip inside of the land to make a path for the Dark Matter Bomb.
That's possible, but Tentacle Smash is kind of an unreliable spell sometimes. So we'll see if he's able to do that. That'd be kind of a weird maneuver. Maybe he's going to have to do some digging in some other way. He could use an Arcane Dragon, break part of the map of the left side of the castle wall, and then maybe try to use the Dragon Egg itself to, like, kind of let the Dark Matter Bomb land in there.
Yeah, I would even try to use that black hole against Seto. If you could get Seto off a tower and just portal him into that black hole and sink him.
I think that is possible, actually, but you'd have to be underneath the black hole. So,
Right.
say Coeval goes into the black hole, he portal grabs Seto, and he gets put into the black hole. But from what I've seen with certain black hole books, and people using that technique, you're actually not sent into the water if you're put in that black hole by a portal. I think you have to be damaged for you to be knocked around a little bit for you to fully be sent into the black hole.
I think Coeval needs to go for it is he needs to bait out Ceto's tree. He needs to cause Seto to tree him like that, where now he could get a free portal and actually go on the offensive.
Yeah. Flash, he could have drained there for a little bit of extra HP. You know, every HP matters against a Sanctuary player because, hey, they can take your procs in an instance, so it's nice to have a little bit of HP to kind of cover that.
I think here comes the portal.
Looks like he wants to continue utilizing that. Oh, it's a great black hole counter.
I think that's fine because now he used up his tree, he used up his black hole, so now you really have a free portal. Let's see if Coeval
Well, you could
takes
also
advantage.
flash as well and just get the opening, but it looks like he just decided to block it off.
Yeah, he's definitely worried about the dragons.
Seto has a lot of powerful minions. I can tell Coeval wants to go aggressive and take the attack to Seto, but with all these minions flying around him, there's just no easy way to do that.
What maybe Coeval can try to do himself is use his Forest Seeds to zone off the Storm Dragon, to zone off the Cosmic Horror, or to even trap the minions to kind of keep that minion count 4 out of 4, keep the minions useless, and then let the minions kind of gradually kill by the fog up there.
Exactly. I think a spell like Mud Ball, exactly like that, I think that would work very well for Coeval. Take advantage of the fact that Seto is not that mobile. He doesn't have flight. He won't be able to go up high and free his minions. So just mud them and make them useless and take up minion slots.
Yep.
Right, but
so
he does
Seto
only have 4 mud balls, so he has to be careful how he chooses to utilize those.
He needs
Definitely.
to pick the most strong. He needs to pick like the Storm Dragon for one. Maybe not the Cosmic Horrors because they're replaceable, and it's not when it has 15 HP. Maybe a fully healed one.
That's a really good flash from Seto Kaiba. Nullifies the aura. Lets Arcane Dragon Egg to still heal up. Maybe get another dragon of some sort.
I feel like we're gonna see another Whisper Bomb play here from Coeval very soon.
Now, if I'm Seto, I think I go inside this tree now because he's gonna get this egg to full HP. Go inside this tree and Sanctuary in there. Clear up some space so now your minions can start running around the map. I don't like that Thundershock right there. His main win con is those minions.
Yeah, the proc doesn't matter. Like, you can whittle down proc all you want with lightning, but you have a Sanctuary. You can do it all in one blow. You have an Arcane Dragon Egg. You have a Storm Dragon. All of that can nullify the proc, not some gradual lightning chip damage.
Exactly. Is he gonna let himself get Sanctuaried?
Oh, okay. The Whisper Bomb somehow moves.
That's fine because now you just get Sanctuaried, and you clear up space, so it's a 2-in-1.
Yeah, well done.
He's stuck with the black hole. He has to teleport out of this.
He should either teleport. Yeah.
Now the question is, will that lightning reach him and knock him back off? Or is there too much land?
Possibly. I would try that.
Oh, so we just found out.
Yeah, maybe it was worth the risk.
Maybe if he detowered so that the lightning goes through the smaller end of this first tree, I think it would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. You detower, you jump over to the right tree, and then you do the lightning at the lower part of it. And then you can knock Coeval off. He's got a lot of HP, and he needs that HP late game to weather the storm. Coeval's kind of recovered here, but he's still in a very bad spot.
I wouldn't say he recovered. I don't think he has a winning shot at this point. I think this is the ball's fully in Ceto's half of the court.
He could try to play for the draw.
I don't like how he
Seto is
keeps,
such a great position to just be able to flash through and get that damage off with a lightning shot. So
now he eats a Storm Dragon shot.
Yeah, I think Coeval was kind of in a fuck it mood. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to push the aggression now, but now here's a Storm Dragon.
Oh, he got lucky.
That portal
Got
would have
really-
sent him right underneath the Cosmic Core.
Yeah, that would have been bad. If I'm Ceto, I think I go put your Cosmic Horror inside of the portal and then shoot up. You know, and force and drag Coeval down into the lava.
Or
I think
even,
it'll fit.
even when you so a cool interaction between Black Hole and Dark Matter Bomb is if you cast a Dark Matter Bomb into a black hole, it explodes right away. And so if he casted that Cosmic Horror's DMB through the portal, it was able to reach. It would have dragged Coeval into the black hole and done 80 damage and sent him to the water when he was down with an arcane gate. So that would have been deadly.
I think Ceto needs to remove this black hole on top of Coeval because now it's working against him now. It's
Yep,
working. There we go.
Coeval's kind of goal was to attack Seto directly, try to ignore the minions, and try to have like a one-on-one fight with him. Because Coeval probably has a little bit more firepower with this kind of generic book, but he's unable to avoid kind of just like all the weapons that Ceto has in his minions and all the zoning spells.
yeah, and he's running out of space as well. You can see he's trying to push more to the right side, trying to gather as much land as he can, but Seto's just going to continue to push and play a little more aggro. He's kind of got him blocked off with the aura, with the black hole. Now he's just trying to get as much damage as he can. But it looks like Coeval's going to be a little more aggro here. Oh, there goes the Mega.
Wow, what a beautiful Mega Boulder.
Wow.
Almost into the lava.
Perfect. I don't think that lightning shock was worth it. Because now...
No. And he avoids the lava.
Now it's getting really interesting. Now
Yeah,
they're just going damage for damage.
Now you just
That's
jump
what
on your
Coeval
Storm
wants. Make it a dogfight.
Jump on your Storm Dragon, which I think it's too late.
Oh no, he uses it.
Shit.
Okay.
But, he can micro perfectly, and he might go for the Mega Boulder suicide. It kills!
Wow.
Woo!
Well played. I mean, I definitely think Seto had that, and Coeval was able to pull out the draw.
I think Seto got a little bit greedy with the Thunder Shock. I think he was trying to stomp him, and he didn't need to. He was already winning. He didn't need to use the Thunder Shock right there.
Yeah, well, I feel like Seto had the ability to jump onto a Storm Dragon and then use it, kind of protecting himself a little bit, but maybe he just didn't have enough time.
Personally, I think he should probably drop the Thunder Shock. Like, I saw he had some utility. He plans to kind of use it to be able to hit his opponent through the black hole, but it doesn't seem like it's giving him that much utility.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Water Ball would definitely be a lot better. That way you can clear out more land and actually get more damage in.
Well, maybe, I think some issues for Seto that match was the mobility. Trying to get around, trying to be able to push his advantage to go over to Coeval. And so he should change around his Cosmos spells. So instead of bringing Cosmic Core and Drone, maybe he can bring, for his 5 spells, Wormhole, Fusion, Mac Air, Graph Pulse, DMB. Because the Mac Air will solve a lot of his mobility issues. So Mac Air can fly around on the map, and Mac Air's really fast. It zooms way faster than normal minion movements, flight movements, and so you can get over to your opponent in 10 seconds and attack them.
I think this map actually favors here.
Coeval going for a supernova mix. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think this was unfortunate. Oh, he has pebbles. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what his book is then. He's probably going through the same strategy as Seto is.
Yeah, so they're both going to have Cosmo spells. But the Supernova book is a book that Ink has actually used in the past. It's a very aggressive type of book, aggressive type of play style. You want to push your advantage, go aggro, use high damage spells, and then when they try to teleport to hide away, you hit them with a Supernova. You're just like, okay, you want to try to hide from me? You're not going to hide from the Supernova, because that will just whittle you down really quick.
But it's interesting that he decided to bring Supernova, knowing that Seto has been running Black Hole, which is just a complete counter to that.
That's a really good point. So maybe Coeval will have to time his Supernova off a Black Hole cooldown. That's going to be a very hard endeavor if seto and kaiba is keeping track.
But had he brought like a typical rushing book or something, he would actually have a huge advantage on this map. He has the upper ground. He could just light up and keep pebbling down like he is. I wonder if his book being half Cosmos is going to hold him back.
Yeah. So he ignores the drone and he goes for the pebble spam directly after Seto. But now the drone's going to maybe get some chip damage. Very nice. And the issue is that Coeval can't go down to press the offense without going to the wormhole. Okay, never mind.
Oh, looks like he's just going for the ball quick.
I think he's going to hit himself with this. Oh no, he got...
That was a perfect EMD. Some of those short lobs can oftentimes be harder than those like far lobs. That was a really good lob.
Do you think here he's going to teleport over and just continue to play that aggro?
That's one possibility. But then he has to worry about Seto's own DMD, I guess.
Oh, there we go. But he didn't time it with a black hole, so this one's just going to get silenced.
An interesting mechanic would be if Coeval brought his own black hole, and then he could move it off to the side.
Now that would be a smart play.
It looks like now he's kind of trapped Seto here by, taking advantage of the top, and Seto's kind of stuck without flight with the black hole next to him. He already used his teleport.
Oh, but that fog is starting to come down. Maybe that'll apply some pressure to a Coeval. He has to be very careful, but it does kill the drone.
Which is a very fortunate event for Coeval.
Yeah, if Seto stays there, I think Coeval could probably get right under that tree and do an extended flash, maybe try knocking him into the black hole.
That would be a pretty smart... I would say he should sank first to get a little bit closer and then perhaps go for that.
Yeah. I think from this angle it might be able to hit better, but obviously Seto moves out of the way, seeing that threat of the flash. What Coeval can do is use the speed of the Mac Air to go over the top of the map and to maybe shoot some spells down with like a pebble shot, but he'll have to be careful of the fog in combination with the black hole.
Oh, there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I had a little bit of lag on my end. Kind of just shot over to the other side.
Yeah, the Mac Air is fast, man.
It looks like he's got a really great spot to continue this aggression.
He just has to worry about the wormhole and the black hole. Oh, shit.
Dark matter. Yep. Perfect.
That's it. I'm not sure if he even has teleport to get away.
I think it's one more turn. Some one turn cooldown.
Oh, he does.
Oh, no, he's able to get away.
Now the question is, will he teleport on top of him?
that's one idea. But if Coeval, right through the
that's
wormhole.
true. He could just go right through the wormhole.
Oh,
Let's see if he can
He's
get it.
gonna
He's gonna try to put it on top.
he
Oh,
goes
the
for
water
pure
ball.
damage.
Wow.
He didn't want to use the
What up?
DMB. He goes for the pure damage, save play.
A perfect water ball too. I think
Oh, that
I
one
think
almost
that's
a
it,
miss.
folks. Yep.
there goes that bounciness of that bomb that I was talking about before these matches started. It's very hard to aim that like that.
And Coeval draws first blood. It's a first win.
GG's, that was fantastic. Yeah, that DMB from Coeval is spot on.
Yeah. And maybe in a sense, the supernova kind of worked as a bait for the black hole. So it's like, okay, I use a supernova, I drag the black hole over, but now you can't use a black hole to zone me. So now I can kind of circumnavigate it and press the offense.
Right, and
Do you
thinking
think
about it
Coeval could
too.
change his book?
Sorry,
Yeah, go on, Union.
Oh, sorry.
think
I was just
Coeval-
gonna say, when he used it's the supernova, and then we had Seto using the black hole. In a way, it kind of worked out for Coeval because even though the supernova is getting countered, when he's forced to play that black hole, he's essentially trapping himself within that small piece of land.
That's true too.
So
So
maybe
if
it was
you're
used as a
Coeval-
bait play, and it was great.
If you're Coeval after that win, do you change up your book? Because so far Seto hasn't changed his book up. He's ran a black hole book 3 games in a row, and Coeval finally got a win after 2 draws. Now, do you change up your book or do you just keep it the same because it already works for you?
Yeah, Seto has been consistently using this book throughout the tournament. He is good with normal flight and generic. In past tournaments and just regular rate of matches, he's pretty solid with his principles and mechanics when it comes to flight prot. And so he can always fall back on that. You're like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. Now we'll just go mono e mono, flight v flight.
Yeah, I would think that he might switch it up here. Play it safe. I mean, this isn't an elimination game, right?
Yeah.
You only have one more chance to come back and then tie it up. So I think he might change it up. We'll see.
I do wonder what kind of book Seto's going to bring, because that game wasn't that close. It didn't seem like he really had a chance to set up. But like I said, I think map gen kind of favored Coeval.
Yeah, I mean, he
So-
also, yeah, like you said, he wasn't able to get set up. Coeval did a good job of continuing that pressure and not allowing him to get set up.
Yep.
Utilizing the supernova to not only get damage, but kind of bait in the black hole and trap him where he could just continue to push, keep him in one location. Had a great DMB, forced the telly out, utilized the wormhole to kind of just continue the aggro, and he was able to come out with the win.
Yeah, that's one of the key themes of Ten's gameplay is aggression versus defense. Sometimes you'll be pushing the action, sometimes you'll be moving away from the action. And Coeval realized, like, hey, I need to be very aggressive early. This Mac Air is going to help me kind of maneuver around, apply the pressure, just going to go right after him. And that's what Coeval did. He was able to get the cojones to go on the offensive, apply that pressure. And the map gen, like 1v said, did favor him, because usually with Dark Fortress, it goes all the way to the top. But this time, there was kind of an exposed layer to the top where you can navigate to the right and left sides of the map.
The interesting strategy that Coeval could try, since he wants to get up in his Seto's face, is if he brought Santa's magic. So he could teleport to the same side that Seto teleported to. And if he gets treed, you could just Santa magic to another location on the same side.
And then you also have the best spell in the game, Christmas Tree.
Well, since Seto likes to bring so much minions, I think it would actually be really useful to block them off.
Yeah, so we're starting the next game, and they both have Supernova, and Seto also brought Supernova and with the Black Hole. So he's kind of keeping to his guns a little bit, but he's bringing an extra spell to match Coeval's own Supernova.
Yeah, and you can
Wonder
see he
what
also
spell
now has
he's
protection
got.
shield as well.
Oh yeah. So he probably doesn't have sync. So then he saved 2 slots because he didn't have to bring Man Trap. So he probably brought Supernova and Protection Shield as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh, he has his own Mac Air.
Oh.
And so he already has a tower. The Sanctuary costs 2 spell slots. And so you already have a tower, so it's like, okay, I don't need this, and I'll just bring my own prot. Coeval going on the defensive with a Water Ball, but he won't be able to fit through that area with the Mac Air.
Oh, he brought Dwarf, so he has a completely different book this time. So what's his plan with the Dwarf? Is he going to dig to the opposite side? He can't dig to Coeval because it'll just drop down.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience playing against the doors, it's one, you have the utilization of digging through to the other side, but also he could think about making it an undead, adding more damage to it, and using it as an explosive to, really play aggro if he wanted to.
But now that
Seems
Dwarf
like
used the 3x, and so he's going to try to move that Dwarf down probably to do a big Dynamite on Coeval. Or he decides to just go for the prot.
So I think a better play would be if he actually undeaded his miner before he to the market, because while it's undead before he goes into the market, he's able to stack up as many upgrades as he wants, and he can just constantly heal the miner, and so then he can have huge explosions. But now he just gets a myth, which is going to be hard to navigate around, and it doesn't have that range that undead regular dwarf would have.
So for the viewers, the difference between getting a myth and getting an undead dwarf when you use Aura of Decay on it is that if you use any type of Miner's Market spell, it's going to make it turn into a myth when becoming undead. If you use no items for Miner's Market, it's just going to turn into a regular undead dwarf. And so myth is a very strong spell in 60s, but it doesn't have the same type of strength in 10s where it's harder to move minions around in a short amount of time.
What kind of moveset does that have?
It has no moves, but it has really high jumping abilities, and if it makes contact with you, it does 30 damage. So it's kind of like a troll in that sense. And it can also swim. So this thing's a little devil right there.
Yeah, it looks like Coeval's trying to utilize the left side of the map now. Looks like, he has the bottom and the left. He has access to the right from that original water ball. Interesting to see what he will do.
Oh, and the myth jumps off the map. Honestly,
man.
that was probably good it jumped off, because it would probably be just a waste of time trying to micro that around. But Seto is kind of pressed for space. He doesn't have room to go down to the bottom part of the map. He's getting squeezed by the fog, getting squeezed by auras.
I think Seto has a good game plan if he just gets an undead miner, stack up as many upgrades as you can, and get depth charge, so you could just drop bombs all over the map. The range on X3 plus the X2 is crazy big. I think that would be a solid strategy to have.
Yeah,
Right,
that
but it
would...
looks like it's a little tough considering he's, kind of limited on space. You got the fog coming down. Looks like, he's trying to play a little bit of aggroness there with the wormhole, but we'll see if he can pull it off or if he even decides to go in that direction with the undead miner.
Coil plays defensive, blocks the hole off.
Issue though, he can't really go for that miner play anymore because Coeval has so much protection shield now, and once the miner does one of the dynamites, it'll probably kill itself, and it won't deflate Coeval.
It also requires a lot of setup to get that 3x and 2x loaded onto the dwarf.
Exactly, it takes like 5 or 6 turns.
And then you have to worry about your opponent not taking it with an Aura of Decay or a Swarm.
I'm curious why he keeps leaving it at 5 HP. Is he baiting the aura so that Coeval could take it?
I'm not so sure. He gets a solid pebble shot off on Seto Kaiba. But now here's a chance for a Dark Matter Bomb, which could send Coeval off the map. Oh, he goes for the grab falls and it fails. Now Coeval can counter with a pebble shot of his own and knock him off the map for good.
Yeah, it looks like Coeval's really set himself up for success here. I mean, I would assume he would just teleport closer and continue the aggroness.
Or he could wait till the aura disappears from the wormhole and then capitalize on seto Kaiba's own wormhole. But he gets a supernova knock off the map.
Wow. What a great supernova.
Wow.
I think that's game ending right there. I don't see how Seto's gonna come back from this. He's flightless. He has protection shield. Let's see if he can make something of it.
Yeah, even the miner got eaten up by that Nova. This is looking really bad for Seto.
Maybe water ball over to Seto, apply the pressure. No damage, unfortunate, but he makes the space to go after him.
He forces Seto to react to this, and I wonder if he just trees it. It doesn't seem like he has too many stally spells.
He might go for a DMB just to counter the offense. Offense with offense. And Coeval goes right into the aura.
It hurts phenomenally. Wow.
That was a perfect DMB.
A little bit lucky there at the end that Coeval fell down, but it was a risk and he got rewarded for it.
Yeah, when you're behind in the game, it's a good idea to make risks sometimes, you know? And that's what Seto did. It paid off.
Now, how many turns is that supernova? Is it going to continue to explode out?
It's about 5 turns, I believe.
Yep, 5 turns.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to continue to eat away at that little bit that he has up. You know, you can see he's trying to now stall it a little bit, try to get set up again. I would assume he's going to, you know, eventually use protection shield and try to get the game back in his favor.
If Seto can maybe build up some of his prots, his tower, and then survive a little bit, he could be up in resources because he has a supernova of his own that if, hey, Coeval somehow hides, he can apply the pressure with his own supernova.
I would tree this. I think that you have to buy turns and stall.
Yeah, you definitely have to buy turns in the short term. You get your prots up, Mac Air. Yeah, use the Mac Air to fly away really quickly. But Coeval goes into a Mac Air of his own to kind of counter that.
And you have to be mindful that there's a wormhole right there next to Coeval that has access to the other side where Seto is at.
Yeah,
He
like
might
he's
not
opting out of it though.
Okay,
Yep.
here's going to be a pebble shot from Coeval.
Dang, that thing moves really fast.
Yeah.
It's scary, especially on a map like this, where it's kind of big, covers so much land, covers so much territory.
I think it's
Yeah.
looking a game over for Seto.
Yeah, it's
I
like
would
it's
assume he's
gonna
gonna try to
prospect.
shoot over a DMB and or maybe super.
This is the
no.
issue. This is
That
the
can't
issue
be
of
Oh, no.
scary.
I don't see why he would do that. A simple pebble shot would have sealed the deal.
Pebble shot, water ball, just get that 60 damage. Now Seto's trying to recover a little bit, but Coeval's still in a good spot.
Well, I
But he
figured
doesn't have
would
any
also
dark matter.
try to maybe go higher rather than out and just shoot the dark matter bomb down.
He's probably
He could've
worried
just-
about the DMB radius being so big, or maybe falling into the lava somehow.
Yeah, I think Coeval should have just did a suicide dark matter bomb, get detowered, and secure the 80
Oh,
damage.
but this might send him down low into the lava, possibly? No, he avoids the lava, but Seto Kaiba's
He
in
has to get it
serious
back.
trouble.
Yeah, I just
I
don't see
think-
anywhere you could really go unless you end up, you know, eventually teleporting to that right side. But even then, there's so much access there that Coeval can go through. At
Yeah,
this point, I feel like
think
he's just gonna pebble him, sink him into the lava.
That should be
Is
game if it sends him to the lava.
this is part of the problem of running a book without mud. That you and I were talking about, Harpo. That mud is just such a useful spell in tens because it does 25 damage, but it buys you time and it buys you turns. it could be a real lifesaver if you use it right.
Yeah,
Without
that's a
it,
good
it's
game.
just impossible
That's
to
it.
install.
I mean, listen, I appreciate Seto going out like a champ, trying to get one more DMB off, but great series.
It was kind of cool how Coeval decided to say, "Hey, fuck the generic. I'm gonna bring my own Cosmos to combat his Cosmos."
Yeah, that's an interesting idea to come up with. You know, typically people won't bring the same book as you to counter you, but Coeval did it, and it managed to work 2 times in a row. So hey, maybe it was onto something.
Yeah, I mean that was absolutely fantastic. Also, guys, I mean, listen, even to the viewers out there, I'm relatively new to Arc 2, so I appreciate you guys this patience with my learning. But thank you guys as well for teaching me a lot of new things. This was extremely fun. I hope I get the chance to do this again. Congratulations to Coeval for moving on into the top 8. Can't wait to see what you continue to do. Can't wait to see some of those top matches with DX and Spork and Joker and all those guys. So I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah,
this is
maybe
a
not sport.
pretty competitive
The rest of the,
tournament.
maybe not sport, but the rest of the people you named for sure.
Hey, now, no slander to my boy. Come on.
So I've gotten word that both of them are going to join us for an interview.
Let's do it.
Coeval's just setting his mic up, and I believe Seto is as well.
Let's do it.
We also have Tiger willing to do the interview on Coeval's behalf.
He is Coeval's PR spokesman.
Who just
Congrats.
joined.
Hey guys, it's Coeval here. I'm back at you with another 10 alien.
Oh.
I 10 alien. I fucked it up, man.
Alien Fortress.
What map are we playing? Shit.
God damn it.
My bad, guys. Okay, wait. 1 second.
1
Where did he
second,
go?
and I will move.
Oh, that was a good interview. Let's bring
Hey
the
guys,
next
it's Coeval here. Okay, I was here the first time. This wasn't the second time for the 10 Dark Fortress commentary. Oh, what's up, Seto?
Hey, what's up?
GG's to both of you.
GG Coeval. Damn, dude, that was a game 3, the one with like the weird map gem where it wasn't split in half.
Yeah, and then I was able to just pebble you from the top.
Yeah,
And-
no, as soon as I saw that map gem, I knew I was done. I was like, oh shit, I can't set up, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Seto, one question for you, man. Not to kind of put you in the spot, but that one game that you had lost, what was that, game 2? You had the chance to jump on your dragon and then make your attack. Was it that you just ran out of time?
Yeah, the
Or what
Storm Dragon, I think the angle was it was like close to like a 90-degree jump, so I couldn't quite hop over the ledge. But like, yeah, otherwise my idea was let me jump on the steel or Storm Dragon and then just bop him with whatever, because I knew he was gonna come with like probably some kind of suicide move, but dragons are supposed to be able to absorb, I don't know what's the map, but about like maybe like half of the damage or something. So yeah, otherwise I think would have pulled that one out.
I have a question for you, Cito. Curious on why you were reluctant on changing your book from the Cosmos.
Oh, so the first 3 games? Or I
Didn't you
guess
bring
2
the
games
last
really.
game too? I thought you
No,
brought
the
it,
last game I ran a completely different book, and honestly that one was just a bad idea, because that was my first time ever trying it. I was just like, yo, what if I like 3x dwarf and just like blow up the map? But yeah, I literally had like no playtesting with that one, but I was just like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, the dwarf definitely takes a lot of setup to try to do that 3x and that 2x without trying to avoid the Aura of Decay from your opponent, moving it all the way over to your opponent But I guess you can do the wormhole strategy to try to move the dwarf over. So you bait the aura, you do the 5x, you move the dwarf into the wormhole, kablam.
I have a question for
pretty much.
after. Sorry if you weren't done talking.
Oh no, yeah, I was just agreeing.
Coeval, I have a question for you.
Up.
After the first 2 draws, you decided to switch up your book and counter his black hole book by bringing Supernova. What was the thought process on that?
So first game, I ran Wormhole, Whisper, and my idea was, okay, Wormhole is going to counter his Wormhole. As you guys saw, I basically counter Wormhole. I scoot down a little bit with Flight, Wormhole his Wormhole, and then he can't get his minions through. Problem is, I can't win with that book. It's too passive. So I can never push him, because if I had Portal, I could push him easier, even though he is good at, getting those trees out and auras to, deal with my portals. It's at least easier than Wormhole to be able to push. You can't really push well with Wormhole. You're going to hop in there, get pulsed, and, sink. It's not going to work out. So I could never push with Wormhole. I had to play for the draw, I realized, turn 30. And so then for game 2, I switched to Portal, and he still was able to squeeze it out. He actually got 2 dragons in that game, and I was like, man, it's so hard to pressure with just like aura, because I know the opener rotation is okay. He is gonna teleport in, bring out an egg, aura the egg. If I aura the egg, he's gonna sank it off. So I just avoid the aura altogether. But then he starts to get more minions, and then his egg is at 100 by turn 10. Then he's got a drone, and then he's got a horror. Yeah, I can sank it off. So game 2 I switched and I brought Sanctuary just to sank the Wormhole off. Problem is I still can't really get to him. So they were too defensive. And so I thought, okay, Nova, what it does is basically says goodbye to the left side of the map or wherever he is. And so he won't be able to build those dragons up to 150 and then, fuck me up with a double flame dragon combo supreme, Exodia combination or whatever the fuck he's about to pull out like he did versus Ron. So
You weren't concerned that black hole just kind of counters Supernova?
oh yeah, I'm too dumb to think of that. The Nova, like he pulled out the black hole and I was like, oh fuck.
But
It ended up working on your end.
yeah. So it kind of helped because you get to bait the black hole. Now that black hole can't be used for zoning you out to kind of block you off. So you're able to now move over with your Mac Air and apply pressure directly to him.
And that's something that I did not think of before playing, but I just kind of, as the game went on, I thought that exact thing. When he used the black hole, I was like, oh, fuck my life, I'm so stupid. And then I realized, what would Harpocrates think? And then I said, I'm going to tower up in my Mac Air, prot, and be a speed demon, scoot over to him. I've got Pebble and Water Ball to pressure. And I will say, the final DMB I did, just for the meme. So I was like, can I get a highlight play here? Nope, didn't work out. So
That would have been a sick DMB. But even in the first DMB, even though it was a very small lob, that still takes precision. That was still a good lob.
Yeah, it was. I thought it would hit you.
Oh yeah, it was really close, huh? But
I mean, you both had one. Seto had one where it knocked Coeval all the way down, almost into the lava, kind of got him trapped.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
perfect DMB Seto.
I have a
Thanks,
question
thanks.
to Seto. If you could redo any of those games, which one would it be? If you could take one back, you feel like that you could. Knowing what
Yeah.
you know now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I kind of rushed myself. I got a little bit too like, oh, I'm trying to close in on the game where I lost where I had the 2 dragons, like full dragons up. I think the game tied at around 40 something turns. I probably could just sat my tower for like maybe just 1 or 2 more turns and just slowly inch in on him because like, I mean, game 1s and 2, I think my strategy was working pretty well. Like basically, I have every quadrant of the map. I have some big minion that's controlling over it, so he can never really quite breathe in. He can't approach me because I have Sanctuary, so his 100 procs or whatever doesn't mean anything at all. But yeah, I think I just got a little bit too impatient in that game.
I feel like game one, you should have tried to apply the pressure a little bit more. You had all the zoning. You had like the right part of the map, the center, even the bottom. And it's like, okay, you have all the tools. Now you got to kind of like push those tools to kind of like attack your opponent. Because, hey, once a turn 45 turns around, you really got to think about, I need to start closing. Or if you're on the losing side, hey, it's the final stretch. I can think maybe try to stall this out till turn 60.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta grind the game more, man.
Question for Coeval. I mean, now you're in the top 8. You're out of the group stage. Who is the one person that you're not looking forward to facing, or hoping you don't face next?
Goal.
Why is that?
Good question. Good answer.
I'll say fortunately, Goal will not be able to face Coeval in the playoffs as they were the same group, so they'll be on opposite ends of the bracket. But
Yep.
other than that, any other ones maybe?
Surely it's Spork, right?
Who?
It's gotta be.
Spork.
It's gotta be probably DX. His book is pretty scary. Goal actually, he used it against me, the same book. I studied those games, so I lost 2-0 and there was one draw. But in each game versus Goal, I had like a winning, maybe not necessarily a winning opportunity. A couple of them I did. Like I flashed him into a portal and sunk him when he had his gate down, which was sick. I just couldn't close that game because he's a monster. And then, like the first game that I played versus Goal, I had a flash possibility and he had like over 100 prot. I missed it. I realized the turn after, I was like, damn it. I could have, at least stabilized the game or had some pressure. And then game 3, I was going for a clock play, mounted my Pegasus, and had to just prod on it. I didn't have enough time. I'm at 2 seconds, 1 second. Oh god, what do I do? So unfortunate minion micro, but I had chances in all those games. But the issue more so is like, I don't know, the book is tough. Phantom is hard to deal with. I tried bringing Pegasus. It still doesn't, it's not just like, oh, bring Pegasus and you're full countering it. But yeah, I would say DX or Gaul just because they have that kind of no flight style down. Cryo is like Dark Horse, I think, in terms of the scariest. He'd be like my second scariest probably if I'm not going to face Gaul. Just because those no flight books, man, it's so much pressure. Like you're just sweating and you don't know all those scenarios. Like I just binge generic versus generic, boring ass gameplay in 7 grassy and like 10 grassy, and so I don't face no flight very often. And you introduce an Arma to the mix and all of a sudden no flight is like really oppressive. Or I don't even know if the Arma is really the indicator why no flight is so good, but you're just able to apply a lot of pressure with that book. It's scary.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, I guess we'll see where Cryo lands. I mean, he's in the losers bracket, waiting for a match. So we'll see if he ends up making it or not. But
yeah, that match was a toss up, right? I mean, I commentated Cryo Spork, and man, that could have gone either way, honestly. So it's kind of like a situation where like Pros is in the losers bracket too against Joker. Easily Pros could make it into the winners bracket too. He's he's strong enough. So sometimes you just get the bad luck as far as groups go.
Yeah, of course. Top 16 is what the group stage starts at, so already with the 16 best players, there's bound to be a lot of groups of death. Like, you're not gonna get an easy group no matter what. It's just the way it is.
That's true. That's true. Also, I want to shout out Seto because the black hole gameplay is very, very interesting. I was saying, I was talking to Harp before the game, and I was like, I don't know if I see Black Hole as very threatening. Like, can you win with it? And of course, you got to play some book gymnastics. Like, tweak it a little bit, try to counter here and there. Because honestly, it's so hard for me to push for like with just like a normal generic book. And of course, when I brought Nova, I didn't even think about Black Hole. You took Thundershock, and that just messes me up. So those are some cool ideas.
Yeah, I was debating kind of between Water Ball and T-Shock. Honestly, I was imagining T-Shock just because a lot of scenarios. I mean, I don't know if you noticed it, but it came up like maybe a couple of times. But when the map is like, there's just one tunnel connecting the two of us, but the black hole is blocking between us. Like,
Right. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. You slapped me with a
Yeah.
Thundershock in that situation, and I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
I have a question on your Thundershock. I guess I just want to know what your take on it was in that series, because I had my own take and I was discussing with Harpo and Union here. I'm interested to see if how you felt about it.
Were you talking to me, 1v, or Coeval?
Sorry, to Seto, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, so I watched like a little bit, I think, was it Your Game versus Miley? I watched like a little
Yeah.
bit of it and I saw the
Miley loves it.
shot come out.
Yeah. she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I mean, T-Shock, I was like thinking like it's usually not that good in maps where there's a lot of terrain, but because Black Hole is like a one shot blow up all the terrain, like I think it's like a really good poking spell. Just like the same way we poke with like auras to whittle down their prots. I was just like, okay, might as well take this because like water ball, like I know like that's been taken a lot, but I don't
I
really want
guess,
to open
yeah, I
the
guess my criticism with that is that you have Sanctuary with a lot of your books. So your Sanctuary, if you get the chance, you can nullify all the prots. And then, okay, they can play the keep away game to try to avoid the Sanctuary, but you can use Water Ball to kind of like apply the pressure, to kind of close the distance, open up space, do a little bit of damage, and that like will help you nullify the prots by going over the Sanctuary them.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think the idea is like, okay, like Harp said, you sank off my prots. I've still got to run. Maybe I have prot back. I get 50 up. You've still got aura, and by this time we're at turn 40, turn 45. I gotta watch for fog. I gotta watch for lava. I'm gonna get treed. You're gonna aura me. I'm gonna maybe have to flash out, take another tick of the aura because I just gated. You hit me with a Thundershock. I've got no prots. You're just sitting in your sanctuary chilling. So late game, I think it can work pretty well.
To be fair, there was a point where Seto was in his sanctuary, Coeval telly to the right side of the map, kind of playing that edge, and Seto threw a Thundershock, and it didn't fully reach. But if you did remove yourself from, if you detowered yourself, jumped into the tree to get less terrain, I mean, you could have easily knocked them into the water. So, I mean, there's definitely use for it, and I think you played it really well, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses. I don't know when to take the risk and when it's like an unnecessary risk. Because it's like, to be honest, when I'm playing flightless, I'm pretty lazy. Like I don't want to move out my tower ever. I just want to let my little monsters, my minions, go in. But yeah, that probably bit me back. Or that's probably like the thing that held me back the most.
It works though. I mean, like, I can't push even with Portal. You got to get creative. Like you've got drone, and you've got these big minions to block the portals. First game I tried this strat of okay, flash out the center, try to pressure with whispers, but with between tree and aura, it's too hard to just. You're not just gonna let me walk in the center and just set up camp.
Yeah, I guess question for Coeval on those whispers. I noticed you used them a lot in the first couple of games, but you were using it at a point where Seto's dragons had just too much HP. What was your thinking behind using it or using it on the dragons?
Did you notice I didn't miss? I just wanted to point that out.
No, of course not, of course not. But I don't know.
It was
like,
still
it
black.
was. Oh, gotcha. I see.
No. Yeah, let me think about that. So, I guess, honestly, in the back of my mind, I was thinking I'm gonna try a different book, so I brought Sanctuary instead of Wormhole, and I didn't have Swarm, so I swapped out Wormhole and Swarm for Sanctuary, I think. And in the back of my mind, and kind of it's come into the front of my mind as I'm playing, I'm like, oh crap, it's another draw. So I don't have like the best moves. If I push or go a little bit more aggro, you know, then he's got his eggs, which it's worse if I flash open and then he hits me with a whisper, or with a, what is it called, the roar arcane dragon attack. Yeah, so I just didn't have many. I didn't have Swarm in that book. I've got Spirit, which I summon. It's just a Q. It's gonna do fuck all unless I have Shock Shield, which I didn't. So I just thought maybe I could get a couple Whispers, and then it's like, okay, Whisper does 45, that's 90 damage. That's decent, right? And the eggs still heal 10 a turn, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can just slow it down a little bit so he gets that 150 drag at turn 55 instead of 45 or 50.
Gotcha.
That part makes sense, slowing down the pace of the dragon. Because, yeah, Seto's strategy was like, okay, I'm going to use Sanctuary to protect the dragon eggs from the auras, and then I'll set up the wormholes, and then I'll proceed to capture different parts of the map, zone Coeval off with Forest Seed, auras, black holes, wormholes, and then proceed to close them in, and then hit him with big-ass dragons.
I have to rely on like a pretty big blunder from Seto to win, I think, with the generic book. Okay, in our
I do
first
that all the
match,
time.
you ran a similar book, right? But you were still kind of working out the kinks, getting used to it. So maybe I benefited from a couple of bigger blunders. But he played really solid in those two draw matches. And it's like, I guess the way to think about it, Union, is like, you know, what else am I going to do to get more tempo? I can't really portal to him, you know, flash it open with all the dragons there. Preventing the setup of the dragons is hard with that book because of the giant ass pillar in the middle. And again, I've got generic. It's like a tough book matchup, which is why I switched it up.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Well, if we don't have any more questions for either of our either Coeval or Seto, I mean, I guess I should ask that. Do any of you have any more questions?
I guess my final question is, are we going to be seeing a YouTube video soon?
Yes. So to answer that, all the games or all the VODs will be also uploaded separately on YouTube. While YouTube also stores like the previous live broadcasts, I do intend to upload the VODs themselves on YouTube, mainly so that it's better for the algorithm. Like they get seen more with the algorithm if you upload them separately, each VOD. So yes, they will be going on YouTube. I of course will just need to make thumbnails and all that for all of the videos, also so that they perform better in analytics. But yes.
Sweet.
And
Yeah, awesome production value, Inc.
thank you. It's still improving. I intend to add a few more things. Obviously, I would add like an interview, sort of like screen, like a interface, I guess.
Right.
As well as maybe something for pre-game and post-match analysis. But that'll be a work in progress, of course. This is only our second stream, so I'm just glad we got the stream up and running and get to share competitive Arcanists to everybody on YouTube and Twitch. And it's a great alternative to spectating in-game because, you know, not everybody can get in the client and spectate a game. Maybe they're, you know, on their phone or whatever and just want to watch. So that provides an alternative in that respect. But yeah, I'm just glad to have everything going. Here says in Discord that perhaps we could get a ping for when the channel goes live. I would like that a lot. I will probably inquire about that to get it going. Normally, video stream releases also... Yeah, new community content also has the... sort of like... I guess it's not pinged or anything, so it's not, you know, as useful, but it would be nice to add that. For sure.
Yeah, it does show up. It does show up in that channel. Like, is going to be live soon and started a live stream. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be pingable in the future.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think on that note, we're going to end the stream. I'd like to thank our commentators for today, Harp, Union. It's your first time for both of you, as well as our guest commentator 1v. And I'd like to also thank Coeval and Seto for the post-game interview, of course. And also for the quite entertaining series both of you put on. That will conclude our second broadcast. Once again, thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, peace.